Alright guys, today before we get started, I would like to say a big thank you to the unsung heroes of this live session. That's all the people that are watching the replay. We don't often acknowledge them, but you guys are absolutely awesome. There's about 200 of you guys every single week, and last week you all did hit the like button and we got like something like about 40 extra likes on the video, so that's really awesome. So I just wanted to begin by thanking you all. All right, welcome to the NZ live show. Today we're having a fun show with you guys. We are the team behind NZ Pocket Guide, New Zealand's biggest and largest travel guide. I am Robin and this is Laura.
Hey, like Robin says, this is Robin and I'm Laura, and we're the team behind NZPocketGuide.com, which is 100% free for you guys to check out and has thousands and thousands of articles to help you plan the perfect trip to New Zealand. Of course, when you're actually able to come to New Zealand, because as I'm sure you're well aware at the time of recording this in January 2022, the borders are still closed to most international travellers in the world. So it's never too early to plan though, and that's exactly what we are here for, both on nzpocketguide.com and right here during this live session, which we do every single Sunday. Live show. No. NZ Travel Show. We've changed our name. So yeah, we do this NZ Travel Show every single Sunday at 8 a.m. New Zealand time. And if you want to know what that time is in your time zone, there's a handy link in the description below. But of course, you can always click subscribe, the notification bell, set reminders, all that good stuff to make sure that you don't miss any of our travel shows. And so how does this whole show work? Well, put your questions in the comments section of any of our YouTube videos if you miss the live show, but you can also put it in the live chat to get your questions answered straight away. So that's the best place to come and get your questions answered about traveling in New Zealand.
All right, so let's go to the live chat. What are people saying today?
We have Oibaf1420, otherwise known as Fabio, saying Morena guys. What does Morena mean?
Morena means good morning in Maori, the local indigenous language.
And he says, first of all, I am very happy that I have had enough time to be on both videos today, this one and the Patreon live stream. I want to emphasize that everyone should join our great Patreon club by supporting these lovely guys, Robin and Laura. And it is not a fortune. The first perk will be a little bit more than two cups of coffee, or one Starbucks coffee, I guess. So join now and thank me later for our very nice and funny Facebook group and all the things Robin and Laura are doing for us. And second of all, how are you guys doing? Wow.
I feel like Fabio is being our sales rep for the Patreon right here.
Yes.
Or maybe he's not satisfied with the current crowd, which is in our Patreon group right now.
Come on, guys,
and so you
join
want some
us.
better friends, I guess. But yeah. Joining us on Patreon is always fun. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But yeah, if you want to support us and have access to awesome perks, consider joining. There is a link in the description below.
Yeah, thanks for the kind words, Fabio.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are feeling good today, and especially better after that little speech there. All right, so moving on with the live chat as well, we have good morning. So this is Fabio again. Good morning. As I'm waiting for the live stream to start, I'm reading a travel book of NZ. Ooh, which travel book are you reading? Let us know. We have Tamo saying, hello. This week's poll is impossible for me. Haven't seen any of those four, so I pick variant 5, Lord of the Rings.
I said no Lord of the Rings. So yes, guys, there is a poll of the day at the moment right now. And it is about movies. So, which New Zealand-made movie, or movie that has been at least partly made in New Zealand, is your favorite? And I did not include anything Lord of the Rings or Lord of the Rings related. So I removed all the Hobbits and all the Lord of the Rings, and I put some other ones. So yeah, so far Avatar is winning by a massive margin, but again, it's like literally the highest grossing movie in the world. So I'd be surprised if it wasn't winning.
Who is it up against on the poll?
So it's up against The Chronicles of Narnia, King Kong, and The Last Samurai. So which one would you pick?
I think I would pick Avatar as well. I would be surprised if anybody picked The Last Samurai.
I was about to say, I would pick The Last Samurai. It's just so
Why?
funny. I don't know. It's just so funny. I'm just going to move the chair while you talk about
the next the next
Yes.
points
comment.
in the live chat. Comments, yes. Okay.
Right.
So, continuing with the poll, we have Tamo saying, okay, I've seen part of Avatar, so I'll pick that. Fair
How
enough.
do you see part of... Like, do you guys do that often? Do you guys actually often just watch half a movie? Like, I mean, I always finish... I start a movie, I'm just finishing it, except if it is Harry Potter, because I cannot handle it, and I just fall asleep. Well, I'm not going to get started on that, but except if it's Harry Potter. But most movies, I actually do watch them in full.
Well, I feel like if the movie is really bad, then you owe it to yourself to stop. You don't have to waste your time on things that are, that are bad. It's like you don't owe the movie anything. So, yeah, I don't think you should ever sit through an entire movie that you're not enjoying.
Oh,
That's my personal
What was that
opinion.
movie with Megan Fox and that terrible CGI tiger?
Oh, yeah, that was
Because we
really
did watch
bad.
it in full, and that was really bad.
But that was more for the intrigue of like,
That
I
was
can't.
so bad.
Sometimes some movies are so bad
No,
you're
that was
just intrigued to continue watching.
so bad.
Just
so
to
bad.
see if it can get any worse.
I
But,
can't
yeah.
remember what it was, the movie. So bad.
So we have
Nathan.
Nathan saying, Kia ora, good morning, Laura and Robin. How are you this morning?
We're doing absolutely awesome, and I feel very cheeky today. So, good day. Good day ahead. We're having Adil that says, Kia ora, Robin and Laura. Kia ora, Adil. Thank you for joining us another time. Hidden Hammock is all the way from Northland and says, good morning, team with
A ninja.
punch. Okay.
Ooh.
Are you behind
Maybe it's
me?
a ninja like fist bump. Like,
Is
hey.
it right here in that corner? Okay. What's Beverly saying?
Beverly says, just learned if a new movie shot in NZ, The Power of Dog.
Oh, I almost watched this movie. Is it any good, Beverly? So Beverly is another one of our lovely Patreon, by the way. Reman 2016 says, when will they allow the students to apply for visas? So basically when there is a clear, concrete date for students to be able to come to New Zealand, then the visas will be issued again. It's basically how that works. The Immigration New Zealand does not issue visas until they know that people actually can come into New Zealand. So for now, we are in a bit of a wait and see approach. Sorry about that. What is Fabio saying?
Fabio says, I'm pretty happy with our little group on Facebook.
I was just teasing.
Yes.
I'm very happy too. We're having a lot of fun on there. And actually, during the Patreon live session, I'll have a couple of questions for you guys regarding that.
We have Extreme Talauta saying Morena, again, which is good morning in the Maori language. We have Clay saying Wolverine would be my pick. Shows a lot of landscapes around New Zealand, mainly central as per usual. Also, a lot was filmed in Dunedin. Plus, I met Hugh Jackman briefly at Spates on the street.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
So you guys are besties now, right? You got his phone
Yeah.
number, you guys are besties. Yeah, that's true. I should have also put it on that article.
And actually, another
Mission Impossible, yeah.
I was going to say, the Tom Cruise movie you should have put instead of the
No, I
Last
should.
Samurai
There's nothing I should do, guys. I own that poll. I do what I want.
one of the recent Mission Impossible movies had some really good shots around Milford Sound, which was obviously like really scenic.
But
He
dresses up as a samurai in one movie, and that's super funny.
Tom Cruise should not dress up as a samurai. Anyway.
He does. One day he woke up and he was like, you know what I should do? I should dress up as a samurai and go save Japan. Like, definitely, I should be the one that goes save ancient Japan. That's.
We have
So, yeah.
Fabio saying, and the book is National Geographic Travel Handbook.
Interesting.
Very good.
So yeah, so if you guys don't know, for the poll, I am campaigning for The Last Samurai. So if you like me, click on The Last Samurai. I want that movie to win.
If you have any dignity, pick anything else.
Okay.
Clay says, I didn't know it was him until I'd seen the front page of the ODT, which is, I guess, Otago Daily Times,
Yep.
the next day. Oh, right.
Interesting.
How come you didn't know it was him? Did he look that different?
I mean, the clothes are kind of hard to hide, right? I mean,
did he not have his massive sideburns on?
Okay, Beverly Gibson says, howdy from Montana. How are you doing, Beverly?
Howdy.
Natasha, which is our newest Patreon supporter, which is awesome. She's all the way from Vancouver and says, "Good morning, everyone." It's not morning for you, is it? It's the evening, right? But good evening to you, Natasha.
Good morning. And
Fabio.
evening.
Fabio says, "Have you met Hugh Jackman?" Talking to Clay, and he says, "I want to meet him too." Nice. Well, listen, we should do a gather up with you and all of us, like do a nice meetup.
Yeah.
We'll go drink some Spades beer.
Well, we know where he likes to hang out in Dunedin now, so
Yeah.
if anybody wants to go and, hopefully see Hugh Jackman. I don't know how often he is in Dunedin, but anyway. We have Clay saying, "Did you guys see the film set near Elephant Rocks before it got removed?"
No, we didn't get to see the film set from The Last Samurai. So, if you guys don't know, so The Last Samurai, although we joke about, although it's already crazy, right? Tom Cruise is playing a samurai, which makes no sense whatsoever. And on top of it, it's supposed to happen in feudal Japan. And therefore, they decided to come and film that in New Zealand, which all of it makes total sense so far. So, therefore, that makes it the best New Zealand movie. And so there was some film set left around the Taranaki region. However, they removed it not that long ago, actually. But sadly, we did not get to see the film set. I really wanted to see it. I just think none of it makes sense. But yeah.
Beverly says, "I'm with you, Robin. HP doesn't hold my interest." Well, we'll move on from that comment quickly.
Central. It's boredom central. I agree with you, Beverly.
Okay, Fabio says, "Border question," in all capitals. Yes, here we go. Here we are again.
I don't know if technically there was border. I don't know how thirsty Clay is, basically, but he may just get himself a drink.
Yes.
Clay that says they're not even just besties; they're also practically related with Hugh Jackman. So here you go.
That must have been quite a connection you had when you met him and didn't know it was him.
Fabio is joining my crew and saying, "The Last Samurai is a great movie." Indeed, The Last Samurai is amazing. Please, in the poll right now, vote for The Last Samurai. Nathan says, "I just sent a message on Instagram with photos from yesterday's afternoon in Turangi along the Tongariro River Trail." I'm going to check that out. And then I'm going to read this one. But Misha Voronov. Misha Voronov says vor.ong. That is probably a spam, so we're just going to move on from there. What is Beverly saying?
Beverly says, "NZ cousin just wrote me about it. She watched it on Netflix yesterday. Benedict Cumberbatch plays an American cowboy in Montana. A lot of shots are filmed in Otago." Very interesting. We'll have to check that one out and see if we can see Hugh Jackman and Clay having a spates in the background. We have Natasha saying, "It's 11 a.m. here. We're 3 hours ahead, but on the day before." Okay, so it is still technically morning all the way in Canada.
I was wrong. I am just trying to get those photos from...
so Robin's just checking out the photos from Nathan. We have Beverly saying, "Not shot in Montana." Yes, so... of course, I mean, when you want to base something in a specific location, it's best to not film there.
I'm just going to show you guys the photos. So this is the Turangi River Trail. I guess it's on one of the swing bridge that you took this picture, Nathan. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know why I covered my face when I was talking about it. Oh, here you go. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful river, yes. We are very familiar with the Tongariro River Trail. This is a very lovely, lovely walk.
All right, moving on. Where are we on?
We have Clay saying Narnia was near Elephant Rocks and Duntroon.
They also did a big amount of scenes around Kaikoura Cove. If you guys don't know, around the Coromandel area, where there's all this beautiful rock formation around the waters. I think that's some really film-worthy location over there, with just those big limestone coming from the water.
Yes.
I mean, obviously the water is coming into it, but it just looks like they're bursting out of the water and everything. I think that it just it is fantastical, right? It does look like a fantasy landscape, and so
you mean the Elephant Rocks?
No. In Coromandel, you have those limestone formation coming out of the water as well.
Like the white cliffs.
Yeah. The white. You also have the
the
caves, the archway, and all that. So I feel like it does look fantasy-like. So yeah.
Yes.
It should work. Okay, Jane Maya Bell says hi. How are you doing, Jane? Oh, we also have Emoji Guy.
We also have Hidden Hammock.
Oh, Maya, I missed it. Emoji Guy says, Morena, how are you doing? And we have a lot of emojis.
Morena.
I like your second emoji. I need to find it.
Like a lightning Lightning, is it?
No, I don't think it's lightning. I think it's just like something coming out of a cloud or something.
Oh,
I really
maybe.
like that second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hidden Hammock said, I'm going glamping at the Adrenaline Adventure Park in Northland on Wednesday. Just wondering if you guys have been. Have you been to the Adrenaline Adventure Park in Northland?
No, I have not. We've done some of those Adrenaline Adventure Parks. We've done one near...
Is that Adrenaline Forest?
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Yeah.
So we've done... I think it's similar to that. Correct us if we're wrong. But we've done one near Wellington. We've done another one as well. What's the other one we did?
We've done... there's one in Christchurch.
Yeah.
There's one in Bay of Plenty, Tauranga area. And there's actually one that opened in Auckland as well.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a similar thing near Whangarei. So that could be the Adrenaline Adventure Park perhaps you're talking about. But no, we haven't done that specific one in Northland. So yeah, let us know how it is. And glamping as well sounds pretty fancy.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know next week if you join us in the live session how that all goes. We're really interested to find out.
If you have connection.
Yeah.
I mean, are you going just on Wednesday just for one day, or are you going for quite a while as well? Okay, moving on. Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony says, sorry, I'm running late, but Morena from Rodeo, California. How are you doing, Anthony? Good. You just caught
Thanks
up.
for
That's
joining
good.
us,
That's good.
Anthony.
That's good. Kiwi Lauren is here, and she says, hey, team, long time no see. I like the short hair, Laura.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, that has been a long time
That has
if you
been a
haven't seen
long
the short hair from Laura. Jane Maya Bell says, I'm great. I'm writing from Africa, Cameroon. It is still 8 p.m. here. Good evening from you in Cameroon. That's awesome.
Wow.
All right, guys, let's quickly have a little talk about Patreon, guys. So I would like to keep it short. So here you go. If you guys want to support the awesome thing that we are doing, i.e. providing you with New Zealand's largest travel guide, doing those live sessions super often, and get yourself a ton of extra perks, i.e. we do more live session. There is an extra 1 hour live session every single Sunday for you guys. There is a secret Facebook group in which we hang out. We share a lot of extra tips and just behind the scenes and everything like that. We will also send you PDF guides that we wrote for you, exclusively for you. They're not on the website or anything like that. So there is like our favorite hidden gems on the northern and southern end, and there is also our favorite spots to do all of basically 45 most popular activities in New Zealand. We can also help you plan your trip, more personal help and all that.
Do itinerary planning.
Yeah, do itinerary planning,
Yeah.
all these kind of things. So we can do a lot of things with you guys if you want to join us on Patreon. And we already have a bunch of awesome people. On producer level, we have Tamo, Beverly, and Clay. And on a supporter level, we have Fabio, Joey, Anthony, David, and our newest Patreon member, Natasha. So yeah, it starts really cheap, and there is many different tiers. So check it out. Even if you are not interested right now in joining and you want to join closer to when the borders are reopening, it's still cool for you guys to know what we can do with you. So check it out. The link is in the description below. Moving back to the live session.
Okay.
Where are we at?
We have
I think we're at Beverly.
Beverly saying, the story of the film takes place in Montana, just filmed totally in New Zealand. We have some very similar terrain.
Why would they film in Montana for the Power of Dog? It just makes no sense.
Maybe it was cheap or COVID restrictions or something.
Oh yeah,
maybe?
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, the thing with New Zealand is that it has so many different landscapes across the country that you can possibly find just about any type of landscape, maybe except for desert, but you could just go to 90 Mile Beach and that's kind of like...
Yeah, or you can go to the Omaka Pinnacles and you have like some lunar kind of desert stuff, like just before the entrance you have quite a few.
Oh, you mean like the Putangarua Pinnacles, no?
No, the Omarama.
Oh, Marama, yeah.
Marama. Sorry, I said Omaka. Omarama, yeah. And there is some sandy area just before, when you walk there, it looks like quite
it does
quite
look
sandy as
quite
well.
desert-like.
Arid, like I would film it. If I had to film a Western movie in New Zealand, I would film it there.
Yes.
I don't know.
There's a tip for all you filmmakers out there.
Here you go. For your next Clint Eastwood movie. Here you go. Clinty, come here.
We have Clay saying, haha, the main scene was filmed on the street outside of Spates and he happened to be waiting for the lights to cross and go to the warehouse as was I even Hollywood shops at the warehouse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Did I say that right?
That's why we read them usually before.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, the only way to stay rich is to don't spend too much. So here you go, shop at the warehouse.
That's
Jane
it.
Jane says, "Wow, I like the show." Oh, thank you very much. Well, you're more than welcome to hit this little like button. You know, YouTube is always like, "Hey, get people to click like." It's a nice thing that people should do, and we always get warnings on the screen saying not enough people like. Doesn't matter to us too much, but we like to tell you guys to do that. Kiwi Lauren says, "I have a legit New Zealand travel question." Wow. Okay, if you were doing a road trip and you wanted to hit up Rotorua, Waitomo, and Taupo, is there a best way to do this? It's a triangle, so zigzagging seems inevitable.
So
Okay.
the way people usually do that if they're traveling from Auckland
Yeah.
is they usually do Waitomo first, then go over to Rotorua, then down to Taupo.
And then you just do one long trip, Taupo, back up to
Yeah.
Auckland. That's usually what people do. I'm not 100% sure, like, if it really makes that much sense to do it that way. In my personal opinion, I will do it the other way around. I will go Auckland, Rotorua, Taupo, and then on my drive back to Auckland, I will stop in Waitomo to break up the drive. And then go
Yeah.
up. It adds
So-
obviously a few kilometers.
Yeah,
but,
I was going to say the reason why people don't do it that way is because in order to get between Waitomo and Taupo, you have to take kind of a bit of a longer journey around the other side of Lake Taupo. So that, but the drive between Rotorua and Taupo is only about an hour between the two, and then between Rotorua and Waitomo it's a more direct route, so that's why people do it that way. But I mean, if you had the time and you wanted to take the scenic route, you could, do Waitomo, Rotorua, Taupo, Waitomo if you were just doing a complete loop.
And then to me, in my opinion, right, I'm always willing to add a few more kilometers in order to kind of not have a full day's driving. You know what I mean? To have all the things to do during the day. So I will do it the other way around. But yeah, that's a personal choice. So that's your two options. You can do like everybody else, or you can do the crazy way like Robin does. Here you go. And also, I know you're traveling with the kids as well, so you need to entertain them, on the road as well. So that may be the better choice. I don't know, but maybe he hates the drive. So, you guys can sing along. Okay, Kiwaloan says, yes, that has been so long. I was music directing Frozen Junior with our local theatre company, and every single rehearsal for months on end was on Saturday, Sunday in New Zealand. I'm out of the loop. Well, Laura's new haircut. We have a new foam right here. What else has been happening? Yeah, so we have... Well, things looks a little bit better, maybe. That's been months. Maybe you haven't seen that. Now we have the chat on the side and we get everything fancy at the bottom and everything. We're on Patreon, so we do more live sessions, more things like that. We can do a lot of fun stuff, like, for example, if I am doing a long spiel for quite a while, we can just kind of zoom on Robin's face and you can hear me chat for quite a while. I can also show you the website at some point if needed, and we can talk about those kind of things. So yeah, kind of a lot has changed. We try to improve the live session constantly, and we are able to do that thanks to all the Patreons, because now we can afford to actually buy a few extra little toys to improve the live session. So here you go. That's kind of the catch up. Aside from that, the borders are still closed. You still can come to New Zealand. We still have quite a decent amount of New Zealand travel questions. So that's quite cool.
And it's summer in New Zealand.
Yes, it's summer.
I feel like most of the time when we do the live sessions, we're always like bundled up in our hoodies and our hats and ooh. But yeah, this summer in New Zealand has been possibly the hottest summer I've experienced.
It definitely has been, yes.
We've had a few swimming in the lake sessions and it's been absolutely glorious.
Indeed.
We have Jane saying, I'd like to travel to New Zealand. Please help me plan my trip. Well, Jane, you are in the best place to do that. Just put your travel questions in the live chat and we will do our very best to answer them all for you. So yeah, if you have any specific questions, just let us know.
And I'm going to show you something else as well, Jane. So if you go on NZ Pocket Guide right here on the site, let me just put it up for me as well. And if you click here on trip IDs, there's this section right here. You can pick how long you want to come to New Zealand for. And let's say you want to come to New Zealand for 14 days. So you want to spend 2 weeks here traveling around. And you click just on 14 days right here. And you have all pre-made itineraries for you. So you may be interested to check those things out. They're really good base. Like, it's a good starting point for when you want to start your trip. We've done all the homeworks for you. So let's say you want to do New Zealand on the budget. So let's say you want backpacking in New Zealand. And you want to do both all New Zealand, right? Northern and Southern. You will click on here and close the little ad, obviously. And yeah, something is coming. It's going to be loading. Sorry, because we're live right now, the internet is very slow here. And on here, we literally have a day to day. So you see day one, and we explain everything that we will do on our first day, everything we will do on our second day. And you're more than welcome to print that and actually book it for yourself. And also, obviously, make as many changes as you want. But they are really strong bases of trip planning if you're interested in doing it like that. Just an idea, obviously. But yeah, we do have a lot of things to help you.
Yes.
Fabio is saying.
Fabio says, and we share videos of Laura doing something related to singing. That's on Patreon that he's talking about. Yeah.
And actually, yesterday I shared a GIF. Laura was working on some camera settings and everything, and I was being very annoying to her. So I decided to do a quick GIF with all the photos, and
fun times.
Okay, what else do we have? Emoji Guy says, hit the like, guys and girls. Oh yeah, thank you very much. Yes, that reminds me, 25 of you guys, 12 likes. Can we make it 25? 13 of you guys haven't clicked like. Can the 13 of you hit like? I will say thank you personally to each of you guys that hit like. Here you go.
Well, that we'd be able to tell who did it.
What is Telmo saying?
Oh, Telmo says, the best movies is... NZ Pocket Guide. Hello, my friends.
NZ Pocket Guide, the movie, that would be an entertaining one.
I mean, if you put all our 365 days of 365 activities all together in a super cut form.
Okay, that would not be the best movie. That would be the longest movie. But that is a prize as well.
The extended cut.
Yeah.
The longer than Lord of the Rings. Okay.
So what is Telmo saying?
And Telmo also says, I can't stay here, but I've left my like. Now I must finish a job here. See you guys.
See you.
Thanks for joining us, Telmo.
Kiwi Lauren is telling us how cold it is in Canada.
Yes, we had 2 snow days this week where businesses didn't run due to the extreme cold. One day it hit minus 52 degrees Celsius. Wow.
It's not livable.
I was going to say, can you survive?
It's not a livable temperature.
No, that's crazy.
That's just not livable.
And she continues by saying, yesterday was one of those snow days and I taught 4 students for the entire day because their parents drove them to school instead. And yes, minus 52 degrees Celsius feels as horrible as you imagine. It does sound pretty horrible. I can't even imagine it. That's how horrible it sounds. Okay, so we have Extreme Taluta saying, red card, yellow card, found 2 colour cards.
That's cool.
Handy.
I like that. If you guys don't know, Extreme Taluta is a rugby referee. So the red card and yellow card are very dear to his heart. And rugby is really big here in New Zealand. So yeah, so that's good. Hey, I really appreciate the fact all of you guys. Kiwi Lauren was using emojis. Emoji Guys obviously is using a lot of emoji. Extreme Taluta is using emoji. I do love to see some emojis on the live chat, so thank you guys.
Making it very colourful.
Yes.
And yeah, instead of liking Extreme Taluta, you can just use your red card. No, that's more dislike, isn't it?
Do you know anything about sports?
No, not really.
Me neither. But at least I know the basic. Red card, no good.
Is there a green card? You did very good there. That was a good foul, and I didn't see it, so there you go. Okay, Clay says... Even here in Dunedin, we have been having a good summer. Been to the beach 3 times in the last week and actually in the water rather than just walking on it. Ooh, walking on the water on the beach. And now that's something about this summer. Yes.
Yeah. So Dunedin, if you guys don't know, it's famous for its foul weather. So even in summer, it's always uneven weather. So yeah. And yeah, Clay has been sharing. So Clay is one of our Patreons. So he's also in the Patreon secret group. He's been sharing fun pictures of him encountering one of the locals, which is a Kea bird, an alpine parrot. And yeah, I don't think the family really enjoyed that in the car. I mean, the photos are family scared, parrot out, family scared, locked in the car, and Clay must have literally been out rambling around in order to take those photos, which it's even. I find it even more funny because I feel like, are they in the car scared of Clay or are they in the car scared of the parrot? So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Emoji Guy.
I was going to say, last week somebody had put in the live chat that there was a Kia that was attacking sheep or something and eating sheep.
Yeah, no, but that was wrong.
That was wrong. That was fake news, but that was quite hilarious.
Urban legends, yes.
Yes. All right. We have Oh, it's that emoji guy.
Yes.
Emoji guy saying, Mosen saying, I still have my carry-on bag already packed from my 2019 NZ trip plan, waiting for the borders to open. Oh.
Well, listen, there is actually, Laura and I were supposed to go on a trip before COVID was
a thing.
a thing, yeah. So before COVID was a thing, and we did have all the suitcase like packed and everything, and most of it is still kind of packed already. So it's kind of interesting that to hear that, because that feel less alone right now. So I like it. But don't worry, there is an end in sight. There is hope still. So yeah. Borders will reopen at some point, so we can start planning trip to New Zealand. Jane says, please, I wish to get to you guys directly so you can help me plan my trip. Well, literally, that's what we do on Patreon. With some of the perks over there, you can have like literally one-on-one sessions with us and everything. If you want to support the channel. So yeah, check out the link below on Patreon and pick one of your perks, and you can have one-on-one sessions with us. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to ask all your questions right here, Jane. We're here to answer all your questions about traveling to New Zealand.
Yes.
Kiwi Lauren, what is she saying?
Ooh, we skipped a few.
Oh, no. What?
John says, Kia ora, guys. Do you prefer summer Christmas or winter Christmas? What do you prefer?
Ooh, that's it. Honestly, I personally prefer the summer Christmas. The reason why I prefer summer Christmas is because I do love a good barbecue. I've been eager to get a barbecue for the whole year. And basically in New Zealand, right? When Christmas hit, it's kind of like when we've had about a month's worth of summer, so you kind of have everybody kind of dusting off their winter grump, and usually that's literally when barbecue season starts, or at least where we are in New Zealand, so we're in central Northern. I feel like usually Christmas, or even just a week before Christmas, leading to Christmas, is literally the kickoff of barbecue season, and I genuinely love barbecue. So here you go. My personal favorite is summer Christmas. What about you, Laura?
Well, my favourite is actually winter Christmas, and I think I've got a good reason for that. In winter, sometimes there's not that much to do, Like in summer, you can go out and there's reasons to be excited. There's reasons to have barbecues, even if it isn't Christmas. But, in winter, you have a bit less of those options. So Christmas means that there's something to look forward to in winter, basically. So it gives you something fun to do while it's cold and miserable outside.
Now, one thing that Laura and I actually do every single day, that we do a midwinter Christmas. So no matter if it's in the middle of July, we do it in July or
we do
August?
it in, I think either June or July.
Yeah, okay. So I think we're doing it somewhere, sometime in July. It's on the 25th of July, something like that. But yeah. So we do in New Zealand a midwinter Christmas. It's cool. It's a good way to gather with friends and just make a lot of food. So we still do a winter Christmas as well as the summer. We basically get
we do two
Christmas.
Christmases a year. Since we've lived in New Zealand, we do 2 Christmases a year, just so we can still get that winter Christmas fix.
Yes. And by Christmas, we just mean like a massive feast, right? We don't really do the present stuff and everything, but we do like our food. So we do massive feasts twice a year at least. So here you go.
Judge us if you like.
I like that question.
If you like the amount that we say that we eat. So yeah.
What about you, John? Are you summer or winter Christmas guy? I like to hear from you. Clay.
He says, geez, my freezer at home doesn't even go that cold.
I know. You know one thing, and I wanted to talk about it probably next week, but because I haven't installed it yet. But I got ourselves a mini fridge for inside the car because we need to carry some special stuff. We'll talk about it next week. Anyway, I got that, and the coldest that it gets, it's like fridge freezer. The coldest that it gets is minus 25, and it's already like really, really cold. It's like,
yeah.
Minus 52 should not exist. Moving on. Crazy. It drives me nuts.
Jane says, I need help for visa application and all through my stay in New Zealand.
Okay, so Jane, one thing that you need to know is that people which are not a registered immigration advisor do not have the right to give you immigration advice. It's actually illegal in New Zealand. It's really bad to do. And there's already a lot of immigration advisors which are giving so advice. So if on top of it they're not registered, it can be even more dodgy. So we are not registered with Immigration New Zealand as registered immigration advisor. So therefore we are not able to give you a one-on-one and a help with the visa part of coming to New Zealand. However, the one thing I could advise you is to go to immigration.govt.nz, and there is a link in the description as well of this video. And on there you'll find all the official information about applying for a visa in New Zealand. It is not the hardest process in the world, and it's much better if you get to do it on your own rather than using an immigration advisor. First up, it's going to cost you much less money, and second, it's you're about to do a life-changing decision right here. You may want to have entirely like 100% control over it rather than handing over control of it to somebody else. So strong advice, go to immigration.govt.nz and get yourself the correct visa from there. Both Laura and I have done that, and it's not the hardest process, and I'm not even a native English speaker, and I was able to maneuver all of that on my own.
I was just going to say, is there a link in the description below
Yeah,
for immigration?
there is a link in the description.
Cool. So we have
Kiwi Lauren
saying, gotta run, family outing with the little dude bundled up like a snowman. Have a great day and I'll tune in next Saturday.
Why are you getting out at minus 52 degrees Celsius, Kiwi Lauren?
I think that's good. I think it's still cool that you're going out while it is still freezing. It's good to get fresh air.
She may lose her nose. She's gonna lose her nose. Or any protuberance, anything like.
As long as she's bundled up like a snowman, it's fine. We have Extreme Taluta saying there's a blue card that's for injury.
Really? Is that in all sports, or is that am I really out of touch with sports? Maybe. I did not know
probably.
That. Yeah, probably.
We have Fabio, who is, judging by the comment, he is our producer, saying the Kia is not any alpine parrot. It is the world's only alpine parrot. Robin, your marketing speaker, wants you to point that out.
The Kia bird is actually the only alpine parrot in the entire world, so it's a really awesome thing to know about New Zealand. And okay. The studio is happy now. Okay.
Thanks for that,
Back
Fabio.
Back to Laura. To you.
Okay. So yes, he's quite right. The Kia is a very unique bird in New Zealand because it is the world's only alpine parrot. You can basically find it in places like Arthur's Pass, which is a nice alpine area going over the Southern Alps. You can find it in Milford Sound, which is surrounded by mountains, and various other places. And actually, you can only see it in the South Island of New Zealand. They don't have Kia in the North Island. So, there's a few more facts about the Kia just to make sure we keep everybody happy, including our producer, Fabio. We have Anthony saying, you are starting to freeze up here, just so you know.
Oh, it says that it's smooth right here on our side. Is it freezing for all of you guys, or is it just for Anthony? Can we get a quality check on the video? And yes, it is going to come. Fiber may come this month, maybe. It's just not up to us whatsoever, but we hope. Maybe it's coming this month.
I think the borders will open before we get fiber.
Just so you guys know, we were promised fiber since last September. It was like, it's going to be that month. Then it's going to be like, October, November, December. It was like categorical. It was literally there. It was on paper, written, and promised for December, and still not there. So now they say in January. So here you go. Maybe. Okay. Clay says, I swear to God, I had sore cheeks and tears running down my face from laughing so much at the panic in the car. Combo panic of both the bird and me not being trusted with my new friend. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are kind of really scared of birds. I really don't know why, but yeah, it's kind of funny. But Kia birds are definitely like not too scared of humans. They will come really close, especially if you're in the car and everything. So that makes for a very, very, very fun moment. I do remember traveling around Milford Sound by bus, and we had a big bus, and there was two girls that were really not happy with the birds coming really close to. She had like one of those spurs, and on the zip. First time it was like kind of one of those spurs that has zip, like kind of golden color, so super shiny. So this is, gold for a Kia. They're definitely super attractive. But sometimes you have like something like feathery that you attach to the zip to grab it faster on the purse. Yeah, so she had like something like super color, I think it was like pink or something, but like pink and feathery that was like flinging all the time. That Kia bird was like going nuts for that, obviously, and that girl was really not happy with the interest that bird had.
And usually, if you put your backpack or something on the floor, you just see like if you have a Kia nearby, it will just start running like really fast towards the bag. Like I'm gonna get that. They are very hilarious birds. They're very clever as well, and they sound like cats when they're squeaking. Like when they're like. No, you don't. I just remember them sounding like sometimes when you hear them in the morning, if you go camping somewhere where there's Kia and then you can hear them squeaking to each other in the morning, it's quite funny.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
They have a bit of a weird call. Anyway, I feel like I went on a weird tangent there. We have Clay saying smooth here, letting us know about the quality of the video.
Adil as well is saying that video and audio is 100% clear, so awesome. And Robert Manuel, hey Robert, he says streaming perfectly here. So thank you guys for letting us know that it works. Anthony, maybe on your side right now then, since it works for most people right now. So yeah. Good. Okay, where are we on the questions right now?
We have Fabio saying, we had a very funny Kia on Stewart Island. I really don't know why there was one, but I think that's quite funny. Yeah, that is actually quite weird to...
Yeah.
Are you getting it mixed up with the kaka? Because on Stewart Island, there's a ton of kaka, which are... They look very similar.
They have like a little bit of a fatter beak, I would say. Like, you know, like the Kia, they have like a little longer and beak that kind of go a little bit more straight. And the Kaka is like more of a triangle kind of beak, like a bit more of a pyramid as a nose, you know? So I mean,
as our producer, and I think like since Fabio seems to know a lot about the Kia, I'm sure if you saw a Kia, you would know what it is. But yeah, like... So just to say also another key difference is that a Kia has really green plumage, green feathers, and the kaka, which is kind of just known as like a bush parrot in New Zealand, is kind of has dark brown feathers, and so
this will be the kaka bird, as you talk about it.
Yes. So there is you can mainly see it more in the colour of their feathers, but on Stewart Island there are a ton of kaka, and
this will be the Kia bird. So
So and the Kia, from the pictures you can see they look quite similar, but you can tell the difference. So. But Fabio's saying, no, definitely not. There was a lady from Hamilton University, and we talked about it. She was quite sure. So that is very interesting because as we've just said, it's an alpine parrot, so it would. And Stewart Island is a very mostly flat. Like there's not really a mountain. There's just some hills and stuff. But that's interesting to see that there was a bit of a Kia migration.
Robert Manuel says, when the border reopen, that's not what he's asking, Clay. Don't get a drink. Will you consider taking group tours? We actually did talk about it for a while, actually. We were thinking, like, that could be fun to get ourselves a minibus and do, like, a little bit of a tour. There is a lot of things to take in consideration in doing that, because obviously we do have to run NZ Pocket Guide on the side as well, so that's already a full-time job. But I'm personally quite keen to be able to do a tour. It probably would be something quite small. So, it would be something like, where we have a bus where there's like less than 10 people or something like that. So I don't know how cheap we can make it, like if the dates work with everybody and everything, but it is an idea that we've been toying with. So I can't say yes, because we haven't decided, we're doing it, but we have definitely thought about it quite extensively. So far as even looking at prices of like buses and everything and what we could be doing with that. So we did look into it. I would quite like doing that, but it's kind of like, would we be able to have like 10 people that will be able to afford, like, it probably would be around $4,000. And I was looking at accommodation and activities and the price of the bus and the driver and, all these kind of things. So it's going to be 4,000 or more. And will everybody be able to come at the same date? It's really kind of a, you can't kind of start saying, yes, we're doing it, and then only have one person, because then all the loss is on us and all that. So we have thought about it quite a lot. I think it will depend on how much the channel grows, and also, like tourism and time and everything. So but it is something that definitely I have thought about quite extensively. And Clay was saying that he wanted to be our driver anyway, but he can't drive a bus. So what are you going to do with it?
I think we also had the conversation, I think it was with Nathan as well. Nathan, like he said he was going to make the sandwiches.
Yes, Nathan was our sandwich guy. We had like jokey conversation about it, obviously.
Yes.
But and that's the thing as well. Like it's one of the thing is as well, like to get prices quite low, you do need to go like as big as, those big Contiki bus and those big top deck bus. You need to have quite a lot of people. You need to have 50 and 60 people. And it's not reasonable to think that we'll be able to have that. So therefore, prices are going to be higher because we will have similar costs, but with less people. So it is a tough one to think about. But hopefully we'll get to make that happen. I'd like to do it at least once, just for the fun.
Yeah.
I would enjoy doing it once.
Okay, so we have some real New Zealand travel questions coming in. We've from Toby Jenkins saying, "Hi guys, what are some of the activities to do in Hanmer Springs?"
The rocket bikes, of course. Laura, tell him about the rocket bikes.
Okay, this is not going to be the first. This is not going to be a real recommendation for the first thing that you do in Hanmer Springs, but. In Hanmer Springs, there are two different companies that do these ridiculous sort of four-wheel bike things that you sit in and they barely move. You can barely go uphill and stuff, but it's fun. You can go around Hanmer Springs town in what they call a rocket bike, and we do have a video on the channel of us doing exactly that in Hanmer Springs. But let's talk about some of the more serious things you can do in Hanmer Springs. Of course, you already know about the Hanmer Springs Thermal Pools and Spa, which is like the main attraction of Hanmer Springs. Again, we have a video on the channel of us visiting the Hanmer Springs Thermal Pools, which, even though it's the obvious thing to do in Hanmer Springs, it's definitely a must-do and definitely worth fitting in at some point during your stay. But other activities in the area, there are quite a few really good quad biking tours that you can do in the area. Personally, I think it's one of the best places to do quad biking, and you actually have quite a few options. They also do...
You almost see like the entire plains and everything. It's quite amazing, yeah.
Yeah. There's also quite a few activities that you can do on the river nearby, the Waiau River, I think it's called. They do whitewater rafting there. They do jet boating. They even do bungee jumping off a bridge over the top of the river. So if you want to do some of those adrenaline activities that New Zealand is famous for, then there's certainly options to do that in Hanmer Springs.
Am I remembering wrong that the Rakaia Gorge is nearby as well, and that you can do the walk and the?
That's a bit far away from Hanmer Springs. That's probably about 3 hours away.
Oh right, so I'm remembering wrong. I couldn't remember where this one was.
Yeah, and also in Hanmer Springs, there's plenty of walks and hikes to do. A really nice, easy one that Robin and I have a video on the channel is Conical Hill. So this takes you up to a nice viewpoint overlooking Hanmer Springs. But if you want to do maybe a full day hike, Mount Isabel is a really good hike to do. Otherwise, there's some really easy short walks to do in the Hanmer Forest, which you can do, under the shade of they mostly have pine trees and exotic forest around Hanmer Springs, which is a little bit different to what you'll find elsewhere in New Zealand when you're going into like native bush and stuff. So has a bit of a different landscape there. Is there anything else about Hanmer Springs that you'd like to mention?
No, I think we have plenty. We've mentioned plenty right now. I do like to also point out a couple of things that you can do when getting out of Hanmer Springs as well. So you can quite easily get yourself toward Kaikoura, which is basically like one of the best like wildlife area, marine wildlife of New Zealand, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you have a chance to do a bit of a road trip there, definitely take a day and go do either seal swimming, which is one of my favorite activities to do in New Zealand, obviously while watching, and there is some other awesome hike to do in there as well.
Absolutely.
All right, Toby, let us know if you have any follow-up questions.
And of course, Toby, look on nzpocketguide.com. We have an entire destinations page to do with Hanmer Springs where you can find all sorts of articles on the things to do, including free things to do, maybe luxurious things to do as well. Whatever your travel style, we cover all that on nzpocketguide.com.
I was excited to use the map. I quickly,
Yes.
sneakily used the map right here. I know it wasn't really that necessary, but I really wanted to use the map. All right, moving on. We are on to Fabio. Oh no, we did that one. So Jane says, "Thank you so much for the advice." You're very welcome, Jane. Clay says, "Went to the bird rescue place in Tiana recently, and the kaka was fun. Lots of wolf whistling and screaming like a cat, like 30 times the volume. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm glad that you actually had the chance to go to the Tiana Bird Sanctuary. Yeah, we do really like it, yeah.
We talked about that a few sessions ago, so yeah, cool that you went there.
All right, and Clay says, "Count me in for the trip." And okay, Natasha has a real question right now.
Yes.
Natasha Rodriguez from Vancouver says, "Question: Does the tour in Topo that takes you to that hot waterfall have a thrilling enough jet boat ride experience to check that off my list, or should I consider adding another one?"
Well, we have to tell you right now that
The truth first.
No,
it's not thrilling at all.
no,
But then
no.
after,
The truth is, the company's closed down.
Yeah.
You
But
can't.
the truth was the jet boat ride wasn't that thrilling for sure.
So yeah, Natasha, the company that does that now has closed down after COVID. So unfortunately, there is no jet boat operator operating at the moment that can take you to the hot waterfall. And as far as we know, there's no other tours that can take you to that place. So that's really it was a shame because that really was an awesome tour. But just to let you know, just out of interest, the jet boat portion of that tour was probably the tamest of all the jet boats experiences that we've done in New Zealand, and we've done pretty much all of them, like about 17 different jet boat tours we've done. And yeah, that one was very mellow in comparison to the
it
other
was
jet
more
boat
your
tours.
transportation to go to that really awesome place, more than anything. But I mean, the hot water place over there was really awesome. Like, it was just this secret spot that they used to call it. It was really phenomenal. But sadly, there's no operator that goes there anymore. But hopefully something is going to restart when the borders reopen, because they were quite successful, right? It's just the lack of international tourists really kind of killed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Quite badly,
but we can give you some more recommendations of, and actually a really exciting jet boat tour in the Taupo area is Rapids Jet.
Yep.
I think this is probably the most extreme jet boat tour that we've been on, because they do go over some quite large rapids and actually get a little bit of like...
It's white water jet boating, which usually you don't do, right? You normally on the normal kind of river, but they literally go on rapids, which is quite amazing.
Yeah, so that's a really good one to do in Taupo. And then in terms of, if you do want to go sort of and see some really cool geothermal features actually really close by to the area where you go and do the hot waterfall, it's called Oraki Korako, and we do have a video on the channel. I don't know if you want to type that, Robin.
I will give you Oraki Korako, but we do have a video of us on the channel, obviously. But damn, we definitely did get drenched. That was a very rainy day.
So if you see on the channel of us doing this activity, we do have a video of it. It was on a very wet day, but that arguably made it more exciting.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, and I think the I and the E might be swapped there, but it's spelt pretty similar to that.
Wow. I've just been told off so bad.
I'm not 100% sure. You could be right. Actually, it might be the other way around.
No, I was right.
You were right. Sorry. So yeah, Oraki Korako is a really cool geothermal park, which is very close to where the hot water stream is that you used to be able to go to the jet boat. But yeah, having a look around Oraki Korako is really fun and has some really cool geothermal features to go check out. So
there you go.
Yeah, I recommend that.
But more than even just, because I think, she wanted to get in the water as well.
Yeah.
I think there is a really cool place just literally in Taupo town where you can go and swim over there. They just refurbished it. There's steps to go down there and everything. So I'm happy to give you the name of the place if you want, which is, Laura, I can't remember.
It's at Spa Park.
Yeah, Spa Park.
Yeah.
But, literally you can't miss it in town. And we do also have plenty of articles on NZ Pocket Guide that mention it as well. So here you go.
Yeah.
You can still swim in hot geothermal water near Taupo. Don't panic.
Yeah. There's plenty of options.
Okay. Nathan says, don't forget about the poll before ending the live streams. Thank you, Nathan. That's really nice. Guys, I'm going to give you an extra 3 minutes. At 55, I will stop the poll. So I'm going to give you an extra 3 minutes to vote for the last samurai in the poll. So check out in the live chat, there is a poll, and all you've got to do is to click on the last samurai. That's the only thing you get to do, and you're going to be sweet. Moving on to Clay. What does Clay says?
Clay says, I was just reading his comment.
I can drive a bus, just not at night or after the first pub stop.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So you have a bus license. Do you have a passenger license? I think you need a passenger license. I don't know. I was looking into all that actually, because I was thinking maybe I should do the stuff and I can do the driving. That will save everybody money. That could be an idea. Anyway, I went really deep into looking into these things.
There's a lot of logistics to work out.
I actually took a full day doing full research on it. You guys don't realize how deep I went into that, because I was like, this is a cool idea. But yeah.
Fabio says, have they already repaired State Highway 40, the inland highway from Hanmer Springs to Kaikoura? We drove to Kaikoura after the massive earthquake on that route, but it was barely fixed after the quake. So, yeah, that route is now open.
Yeah, sorry for my reaction. I was like, are they already repaired, mate? There is always going to be pothole. There is always going to be roadworks in New Zealand. So, haven't they already repaired it? They still are. They still are. They always will be.
And Fabio corrects himself saying, like, State Highway 70, if I remember correctly. But,
so now it is open. So, yes, you can drive. That's absolutely true. You absolutely can drive, yes. Sorry for my reaction. I was just thinking, like, listen, there is not a road trip in New Zealand where you don't see at least 3 different sections of the road that they're currently repairing.
Yeah. We have Natasha saying, oh man, okay, well, looks like I'll need a new activity to fill that day. Thanks for the info. You're welcome, Natasha.
And also, if you want another type of activities than what you had planned as well, Taupo is actually one of the cheapest places in the country to do skydiving. So if you were planning on doing a skydiving, that could be a good spot to do that.
Yep. So we have Anthony saying his signature phrase, stay safe, but I'm here until the end.
Yep.
We have Clay saying, have you done the jet boat ride at the Goldfields tour place just outside of Cromwell on the way to Queenstown? It's only $99, but makes me wonder if that's a good deal or get what you pay for. So yeah, we actually do have a video on the channel. I know I say that quite a lot, but we have done the Goldfields jet the Goldfield Jet tour. So yeah, take a look at the video and see for yourself. But I rate it quite similar to a lot of the other jet boat tours in Queenstown, which is the closest town where you'll find other jet boat tours. It's a thrill ride experience. They don't really take you too far, so you're not going to cool different places, but if you just want some quick thrills and some, that is what you pay for, really. It's just like, it's not a long tour, just some quick sort of experience on a jet boat.
It's half the price of Queenstown, so
yes,
yeah. I don't think it's a bad one, honestly. So yeah, check the video if you feel like the sceneries and everything are your type of stuff. Yeah, go ahead. I also think that it looks quite different, like small, like golden, and maybe that's the time of the year we went there, but that was a very different, that wasn't your deep green kind of like jet boat tour that usually you do, like, all the forest and everything is deep green. It's like much more like, kind of
vibrant
stuff. So
it's, yeah.
So I like the fact it looks quite different as well.
So we have Natasha saying, is it the Wairaki Terraces?
So that is also a thermal hot pools as well. This one you have to pay for. Spa Park, you don't have to pay for it. So, it's kind of like it's more natural and everything, usually a bit more crowded. But yeah, so yeah, the Wairaki Terraces are cool as well. Same thing, Laura, do you want to say that sentence? We have a video of us doing that.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We do have a video of us doing that. So the Wairaki Terraces are cool as well. Would I do one or the other?
Between going to
I'm thinking like which one would I prefer between both? You know what? Here's my answer. I actually think I would prefer Spa Park because I was literally asking myself and I can't decide if I prefer one or the other. So if I can't decide which one I prefer, I'd rather go for the one which is free.
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise, if I'm like, oh, it's clear, this one is better, then at that point I'd pay the money. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't know which one I would kind of, prefer. So
and also if you are driving near Rotorua or around the Rotorua area, then there's about 5 different natural hot pools that you can check out in that area as well on the road between Rotorua and Taupo. And we do have an article on nzpocketguide.com about the free best hot springs in Rotorua, and we also have an article about the 10 best hot springs in New Zealand. So go check that out and see if there might be a few surprises or a few hot pools that you might have not heard about but are free to go to in New Zealand. So check that out on nzpocketguide.com.
Okay, so Robert Manuel says, have you done the escarpment walk in Wellington between Pukerua Bay and Kakariki?
We haven't, because we actually went there recently and the track is closed. At the moment, I don't know if they've repaired it now. This was a couple of months ago. But yeah, the main swing bridge that everybody knows about, I think that had been washed up, or like taken down or washed away or something. So yeah, we didn't get the chance to do it.
So we went there with the plan of doing it.
Yes, exactly.
We didn't.
And so I've seen lots of pictures. Actually a couple of our friends that came to visit us said they had done it, and emphasized how steep it was and how, it's a very steep track that you do need to have good fitness to be able to handle it, I think. So, yeah, that's what we know about it. Hopefully it's open now. And if not, they'll open it soon because it's also part of the Te Aroa Trail. So, that's what we know about it at the moment.
So Nathan says, have a great day and see you next week. Yes, we are almost done with the live session. Emery says, can you do work and travel during Corona? So at the moment in New Zealand, they're not issuing working holiday visa, which is a visa you need to do work and travel in New Zealand. So sadly, at the moment, it is not an option, but hopefully things are getting better quite soon. We're very much looking forward to that. Joey, which is one of our Patreons, says, good day. So again, guys, I'm just going to do it really quickly. If you guys want to join us on Patreon, you can get yourself a lot of perk extra live session. You can get yourself PDF guides of New Zealand. You can get yourself, direct help from us to help you plan your trip, all these kind of things. And there is a secret Facebook group in which us and all the Patreons are sharing a lot of fun stuff about New Zealand and not just about New Zealand. So yeah, so it's quite a lot of fun. There is a link in the description below. You may want to join us on Patreon. Moving back on.
We have Tiaz saying, hi, New Zealand, good country.
It is.
We agree.
Nice, thank you.
We have Clay saying, it's my second home up central my whole life, so the scenery has already been seen, to be fair. Might check it out next time. Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, for me, if I was to say, for the Goldfield jet boats, right, the main selling point would be that the scenery is more tussock and slightly different than the rest. That would be what I would sell it.
But I'd say the main selling point is really just to have the thrilling jet boat experience where they do the near misses with the gorge walls and the 360 spins. If that is what you want to experience, then I feel like Goldfields Jet, sorry. I was like, this doesn't sound right. Goldfields Jet is better for that. That's my opinion. Robin has an opinion about the scenery. There you go. Mash that together. And
Fabio says, if you are already in Kiwiland, yes, you can apply for an extension for you can do that, Emery, but I don't think that was the question, so this is why I answered it a little differently. But yes, our producer is saying, yes, if you do already have a working holiday visa, you can get an extension. Natasha says,
thank you so much, smiley face.
And Joey says, it's freezing in Belfast. How's the beautiful New Zealand? We're doing pretty well. How cold is it? Because we just had somebody that showed up. Her name was Kiwi Lauren. She was in Canada. And she said currently where she was minus 52 degrees Celsius. So can you beat that, Joey?
I don't think you can in Belfast.
No, I don't think you can do that. All right, guys, so this wraps up our NZ travel show for this week. We will be back here next week with exactly the same show with different questions, hopefully. But yeah, the same show, same time, same place. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, what's happening next is that we are going to be doing an extra 1 hour with our Patreon. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I have prepared some stuff for Fabio. He already sent some questions ahead. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And in the meantime, check out nzpocketguide.com. There is a ton of info for you. It's your largest travel guide to New Zealand. And we have some videos scheduled throughout the week, some stuff to do in New Zealand and all that. And this... poll. Oh, yeah, and the poll. And I forgot about the poll.
You were even reminded not to forget about it.
Yeah. All right. So we had 26 people voting, and Avatar was the winner, and the second was The Chronicle of Narnia. So here you go. The best movie made in New Zealand that is not related to The Lord of the Rings is Avatar. Second one is The Chronicle of Narnia. Third is King Kong. And The Last Samurai is 11%. What is wrong with you people?
Well, King Kong and The Last Samurai are joint last.
That's true.
With 11%. So, yeah, I mean, who was going to say that The Last Samurai was their favourite movie, really? And
Joey, she meant Celsius, minus 52 Celsius, which is an unbearably cold temperature, and she should never leave. I do not understand why she left her home. All right, guys, we are seeing you next week. Bye-bye.
See you next week.